Hey, Melissa, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you. Can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here with the little ones, so it's a changes the scenery. Hey, look, mommy. Look, there you
My
go.
oh, babe, look. I
You want
told her.
to say hi
I
to me?
kept telling her. I was like, "We're gonna see babies."
Look, mommy. Oh, you see? Come here, Sahara. You're the other one. Come here. Wait.
Oh,
Yes, there you
yeah.
go. So this
There's
one's
two
Sahara,
babies.
and
Sahara,
then the one that I showed you before is Cora, the one that's peeping over there.
Sahara and Cora, and this is Ania.
Ania. Say hi, Ania. Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. So thank you ahead of time and before for saying yes to doing this.
Of course, super excited.
Yes. So am I. I was telling Andrew, my husband, I'm like, yeah, I got Melissa. Melissa's gonna do it with me, and he's like, oh, that's good. Because I love talking about certain things, and especially when it's something that I'm passionate about. And for me, I would have never really thought that it would actually be a postpartum journey. But it's something that I feel like people should hear about. So what we're gonna start off with is obviously I just kind of want you to tell me. Yeah, I know you're interviewing too. Good job. I just kind of want you to let me know or let everyone know what it's been like for you having your daughter.
So that's it's been a ride. I'm sure you know with two. So really, it's been up and down. When I first, sorry, my daughter,
It's okay. I get it. Hey,
for sure.
I have
Um,
my computer on a high chair so that they can't get it.
I should do that. Tip for next time, because look, now you have that's the ring light. So how it started for me, well, once throughout my pregnancy, I was already into fitness, right? But I started listening to other people. They're like, "Oh, you're pregnant, you could eat," and of course, I kind of just let my hormones take over, and I gained 42 pounds, which may not seem like a lot, but for me, I should have gained around 25 to 30.
Mhm.
So I did eat a little bit more. So when I gave birth, it was tough. I didn't really know. I mean, I know that you still look pregnant like after, but seeing it is like a whole nother thing. I'm like, oh my god, I gave birth already, and I was like still weighing the same thing. But anyway, moving forward, I just started eliminating like certain habits that I had picked up on during pregnancy, like drinking juice, for example. I gave that up a while ago, just to mainly have water, and I feel like um, that's huge with your fitness journey. So I stopped that. So I stopped eating a little bit of. I started actually eating fast food a little bit again, which I had given that up as well. So that's how I began. But the first 3 weeks, I was really kind of like we were like on survival mode. Like we weren't eating as much, or we would decide to eat something that still wasn't according to like my new meal plan that I would like to follow. But at 3 weeks, I was like, okay, like, I was cleared. I was cleared pretty early. Thank goodness I had a good recovery, and I was able to start working out. And like I know you had commented when I was able to do 100 push-ups the other day. I remember going to the gym, and I was tired, like especially when you have newborns, like you're tired. So I was tired, but I was like, no, I gotta get to the gym. So I put on my little workout outfit. Thankfully, I had my boyfriend, her dad, that helps a lot. Right now, he's not here, so it's another story. But in the beginning, he was able to watch the baby for 30 minutes, an hour, while I would get my workout done. Or if I wanted to get it done while I was at work, just instead of taking a nap, I would get my workout done. I started Herbalife as well, and that helped me with just making it a little bit easier as far as like my morning routine. Because I would have my shake. Like if I didn't have time, it didn't matter. I was just having my shake where I knew I had like all the vitamins and stuff that I needed, and just kind of took it from there. I took it I was being patient with myself. Like I knew I wasn't going to lose all the weight super fast, but just I'm like, okay, I'm out of the 180s, I'm out of the 170s, I'm out of the 160s. So setting those small goals.
Yeah, that's how it works, though. That's how
Yeah,
you get through the goals, because if not, then you overshoot and you end up not doing anything.
of course, of course. So
Mommy,
all
don't
those
fight
small
yourself.
goals definitely, helped me. And really, it was just working on my mindset as well. postpartum, I had heard a lot about postpartum depression and all of that. Look, say hi to the baby. Hi.
Postpartum depression, yeah.
Postpartum depression. And so randomly, I would kind of get just like crazy thoughts, and I would literally just rewire my brain. Like I would tell myself the opposite or like what I wanted to hear over and over. And I felt like that really helped me. And I didn't talk about it much to anyone or even on social media, which I'm not, maybe it could have helped someone, but to me, I felt like I just needed to, like, no, that's not gonna get me. I couldn't even talk about it.
Yeah, I was the same way too at the beginning, at least.
In the beginning, yeah, and then eventually, it gets better. But that's basically what I've just done. Basically, worked on my mindset, slowly got back to my healthy habits, to my routine, incorporated, drinking water, like all those little habits.
Switching out the juice.
Yeah. Creating those small goals. And that's really how I've done it little by little. And now that I'm taking care of her by myself, I just make it work. Like right now, before this call, I put an Instapot. I just make a bowl,
Oh, those are awesome. I love that.
Exactly. All the veggies, the protein, and then that's it. We're done. I don't have to worry about cooking. So it's really just letting go of like the excuses and adapting and making it work. Like the workouts get done while I'm pushing her in the stroller. I do my cardio, then I'll do some squats. I'll do some, I'll just try to get it done however I can, and knowing that it's okay that I'm not going to be in the gym how I used to be, at least for right now. Because before I used to be in the gym like hour, 2 hours cardio. But now things my time's a little bit more cut short.
Yeah, no, I mean I get that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, obviously, when you have a baby, it's just your life literally does a full 180. It is nothing from what you're used to. No. For me, at least, my husband. Okay, Cora wants to be involved. Look, Cora. You can't get the computer, okay? So, no, don't get the computer. Let's go. So, yeah. So my husband always said, he would always joke around saying, we're going to have twins. And I was always like, no, we're not. Until, obviously, they told me, hey, you're having twins. So, but, yeah. So with that being said, like, my life also did a 180, and I just didn't expect any of what happened postpartum, during pregnancy and all that. But you said you started working out at 3 weeks. That's awesome that you got cleared out that soon. I actually had to wait maybe 6 weeks before even being able to do anything. And the first thing that I actually did was I ran a mile, and I was like, this does not feel the same. How did it feel for you, just like the first day, besides being tired?
The first day, I wasn't as strong as I was used to, especially my core, because our core goes through the most. So my core was so weak. I remember like just trying to do a simple sit-up with Dom, that's his name, with Dom in the living room, and I was like, I wanted to cry because it just wasn't the same. I felt tired, and I just knew that I had to keep on showing up, and it would get easier and easier. When you first get started with things again, it was basically like starting over, is what it felt like for me.
Yeah, I know. It's did you happen to get the diastasis recti? Did you ever get diagnosed with that? Or
I didn't, but I would like feel myself just to kind of, and I felt like I did a little bit, but not much. I really, for me, like the first 6 months, I was still swollen. Like I know, like everyone's different. Some people take
it's still
What happened? What do you want? Here. Okay, there you go. So yeah, for me, I felt like the first 6 months I was still like struggling. I'm like, oh my God, but I knew that every mom takes different. Some moms, we're still recovering. We went through 9 months of pregnancy. It's okay. Get up.
Yeah, I know, 9 months. I went obviously my ab split. I had like a 4-finger split, and I was like, what the heck? Because I'm just used to like I'm already very OCD with certain things. So obviously when something's not perfect, I'm like, oh my God. Even though, I mean, but it did take me obviously a while to accept what happened, because I mean, I birthed these two little ones and I was like, Jesus, I mean, your body has to adapt.
You did it naturally.
No, I had C-section.
Oh, you had C-section. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did a C-section because one of them, I think it was Sahara, was breached, and then at the very end she flipped down, like she flipped the normal way down. But I was like, I don't want to risk it because it's two. So I was like, whatever, just let's do the C-section. So yeah, and I held them for 37 weeks. Which for a twin pregnancy, 38 is considered full term. So Miss Sahara here, who's eating my phone, probably gonna get angry. Yes, okay, Miss Sahara, she was actually eating more than her sister, so we had to take them out a week earlier.
Oh wow, like
yeah,
for your sister. Oh,
yeah, wow. She weighed a whole pound and a half more than Cora did.
Oh, wow.
Cora's always been the smaller one, but the more aggressive one. But yeah, did you do any different exercises? I know I had to obviously do a little bit more core strengthening, but I couldn't do crunches. I couldn't do sit-ups. I couldn't try those, or planks. But did you do anything different?
So honestly, I was kind of neglecting my core a little bit, which I shouldn't have, but I was, just because it was so hard. That I just like, I'm like, I'm working on my core while I'm doing my exercises. So now I've been focusing a little bit more on my core. But before then, honestly, no, I was kind of just doing lighter exercises, not exercising how I was before. But nothing specific. Now I've read a little bit more into it. And I know there's certain exercises, that help. Like you need to work out your whole core, not just like.
Yeah, it's mainly I brought it closer.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more of like your transverse abs that you have to focus on. But as long as you're focusing on your breathing too. I mean, she's not generally as cranky.
Yeah. With like the computer, like when I'm trying to do a homework assignment, it's almost impossible. I have to have it like up on the counter and kind of like figuring it out. A couple different items that I could be giving to her.
I try everything. I gave her cups. I give her what's it called? Her little blocks that she has.
Yeah.
My phone at one point, she grabbed it.
She loves, imagine, all of our things. So I have like a calculator here for her.
You're like, here, input numbers. Like, she's back. Yeah. She's back. She found this again. Sorry about all this.
Oh, no.
So yeah.
The breathing. You're talking about focusing on breathing.
Yes. So focusing on breathing is very important when you do a lot of these exercises, just because your core did separate. And you don't want to get a hernia, get any type of like injury that you just can prevent, obviously. So yeah, breathing is very important. You coming?
That's something that recently, like, I'm in the process of making it a true habit, which is meditating. I started with 10 minutes, so I started that so I can really focus on my breathing and just my mental health.
Yeah, I know. That's very important.
The screaming and all that. Sometimes, and times two. I'm so happy that we won a second one and a third maybe. But before he left, he wanted like to get pregnant, and I'm like, I cannot stay here pregnant and with a baby.
Yeah, especially a toddler, because now is obviously when they require even more attention, and then I can only imagine with a newborn too. So, but okay, so let's go back to our fitness journey. I did notice obviously that you did lose a lot of weight. You said that you had gained about 45 pounds, right? Give or take. Is that what you said?
40, yeah, I gained 42. I'm down 43, 44 now, more or less. Yeah. I had gained, I might have gained a little bit more actually, just because I found out I was pregnant when I was 5 weeks, and I
Mm-hmm.
had gained a couple, like maybe 5 pounds or so.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was gaining a little bit of weight, but probably was the baby and the eating. But yeah, so I'm down 43, 44 pounds now.
Congrats. Do you feel good? Because I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
some
so
people.
it's obviously like so I'm back to my pre-baby weight, but your body's different, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for a little while, I was like still like I was happy, but I still felt like I needed more. But then I was like, no, like you're doing what you have to do. Like just be happy, where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost all of it.
You should be proud.
Be proud of that, exactly. So no, I'm definitely happy with my results so far, and I just know it has to be continuous. That's it.
Be consistent too with everything.
Exactly. Consistency is everything.
Yeah. And like you commented on my post, you have to find the discipline within too. I was like, you said that, I'm like, yes, that's the word I needed. Like that was the word on the tip of my tongue. I was like, yes, that's correct.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, your postpartum journey is obviously different from everyone else's, and nobody should compare themselves to anyone. That's very important, because I did that at the very beginning. Well, my Andrew, he would always be like, oh, look at this twin mom. She had kids and look how she looks. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that, because I will not look like that. I'm not the same person. Like, whether you think I am, I'm not. Just because I'm having twins doesn't mean it's the same. And he was like, oh, okay. So at first I would compare, but then I realized everybody, I mean, it's a switch that you have to kind of like really focus on. And I get it, why you would and then why you wouldn't. But yeah, so we talked about pretty much, you mentioned postpartum depression. I had my spiels of things. My whole journey postpartum pretty much involved COVID and driving from New York to Miami, and holding up in a room, my brother's room, until we got a house, and then being by myself. So it affected me a lot. So I would actually turn to working out. I'd have to find the time. I'm like, okay, the girls have to nap so that I can find the time for myself. Like, I love my babies, and I'm obviously going to do anything for them, but
First.
Yeah, I don't want to say it like that, but it's more of like you have to mentally, yes, correct, mentally and to emotionally and physically to be there for them, because if you're not, then your babies are, who are they going to be with?
Exactly.
I mean, why are you getting the Roomba thing?
Sometimes I have to pick up the Roomba and just flip it on top of like the counter, because she will keep on, there you go, she will keep on pressing the button.
Yeah, that's them too. But yeah, so we were talking about that. Did you have a rough time? If you don't want to be with postpartum depression, if you don't want to answer.
No, it's fine. So at first, I felt like I did a little bit. It was just different things. Like I knew I wanted to be home with the baby, but then of course, like financially, we were not, not as, we don't have as much money as if I was working like full time, let's say, or if my business would already be where I want it to be. So that was something that we had a little bit still that we encounter. And for me, it's just more important to be home with my baby at the moment. So then I just think of that. I'm like, okay, you're just sacrificing a little bit right now. She's not going to be this little forever, and then and just continue working on. I guess since I've given birth, it's also opened me up to just like really focus in and be consistent with everything. As far, oh my God, she's like pulling me away. Hi, say hi. With consistent with everything all around. And that's what's helped me not get into that funk that we can easily get into. And like you said, the whole comparing thing, that's something that I'm like finding everywhere. Like everywhere that I read, they talk about that. Like you can't compare yourself to others, because one, that's not your journey. You're not them. And then that's just going to put you in a bad state, you know? So
right. Because then you'll be like, but why am I not there? Why am I
exactly.
not improving? But you are improving, and it's a different way that you're improving.
In different ways. Exactly. So really, I've just strived to work on myself daily in order to be my best for her and set the best example, because I think that's the best thing we can do. Like growing up, I didn't have the best example as far as like eating healthy, exercising. It was more like my mom would be like, okay, I have to lose 10, 15 pounds, get on like a strict diet, you know, and then lose them, and then let's say go back to her old ways. So I didn't have the best example. I've had to create those new values myself, and then just do it consistently so that she can actually learn and take that on to her, you know, to her adolescence, and then later on into adulthood.
And you, yeah, you're 100% correct on everything that you just mentioned. I'm happy that you're doing such a good job with everything. I saw that you finished your semester too.
Yes.
So congratulations, because taking on school with a baby and housework and everything, it's a lot, and even including your workouts is something that can be draining for oneself. But you are proving obviously that you can do anything, and you can, as long as you set your mind to it, as long as you find the discipline for it, you're able to do it.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What do you study?
So it's been a journey. It's been a long journey.
A journey is something that's proud to be it.
I went to FIU straight from high school, and so I've switched off different things. When I saw that you were a nutrition and dietetics major as well.
Yes.
I had once I went back to school. No, not this, baby, because you're gonna set off the alarm. Here's do you want a pink? Here. Come here. She wants this.
No.
I lost track. What was I saying?
You said you went to FIU straight out of high school.
Oh, okay, yeah. So hopes of doing nutrition and dietetics, and once I had to actually raise my GPA, so I was already taking classes toward it, and then I was gonna switch it, but I became pregnant. And I was taking chemistry, and I decided that I hated chemistry. I was actually telling Andrew about this the other day. I was like, props to her. Because that chemistry class, I passed the lab, but the actual class, I was like, no, it's okay, harder. So I wasn't enjoying it. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, let's do something else. So I'm about to graduate. I have my last semester in spring. Right? Yeah. And for psychology. So I'm not 100% sure what exactly I'm going to do with my degree. I want it. And I think psychology helps with everything, especially with health and fitness. Plus, I kind of have a calling to help teenagers that have going through things and whatnot. So I'm not sure 100% what
you want to do with it, what route you want to take with it.
Yeah, but that's just one thing that I would like to get into. Besides that, I recently became certified with NASM as a CPT, and I want to open a gym eventually. So just do different things like that. Once we're moving to California. So
Nice.
Once we move and COVID is like under control.
Yeah, that's a great word, under control.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, because it's not gonna disappear. A lot of people are waiting for it to and it's not gonna go anywhere.
It's just there. Yeah, it's like the flu. You're just gonna have it there.
Exactly.
When are you moving to California? Is in the plans soon?
So as of now, he graduates like end of May next year. So pretty much after that. Not sure.
What is he graduating in?
For U.S. Border Patrol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's in training right now. So we're alone for 7 months. Yeah, so it's just gotten easier. At first, I was like, it's randomly I just want to cry, and I'm like, it's okay, he'll be back.
That is okay. Yes, correct. It is okay. Yes, mommy, it is okay. Yeah. So what's up, mommy? Is there anything else you want to add on about your journey? If someone like a new mom comes up to you and says, I want to start working out, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I have time for it. What am I going to do? How can you help me kind of thing? What advice would you give that mom?
So I would tell that mom to stop overthinking it, that she's going to have to figure out how to incorporate it into her day. She might not be able to nap. I'm not saying not to nap, because those are necessary as well. But you might have to, if your baby doesn't allow you to work out, if you have your partner to help you, then that's even better, where you can go get your workout in. Like, just tell yourself 30 minutes, like, I'm not going to watch that show, I'm going to go work out. Because when you mentioned about not working out, about using exercise as a tool to help you through like postpartum depression, that helped me as well. Because if there's times there's times where I might not work out for 3-4 days, and I start kind of feeling down, and I'm like, why am I feeling down? And I was like, oh, I haven't worked out. Let me work out. Let me get back into it and just start again. You're gonna not fail, but what you might consider fail, but you just have to get started again and make those small goals. She's ready for nap time.
Oh, I get it. My girl's nap soon. That's great advice, I think, to give to someone new. Obviously that is one thing that we do. We overthink anything and everything, but it's just it is possible. Like you said, you just have to kind of like learn to prioritize. Like for me, I mentioned recently, like I'm very OCD with things. So for me, I'm very huge on routine. Yeah. I had to be strong word kind of thing, but I chose to be, especially with the twins, because I was like, if I don't get them, unfortunately, into a routine, if I don't get myself into a routine, then I will not be able to get anything done. And I'm just going to go crazy, because if I'm by myself, I'm going to fall into that hole. So routine was just something that helped me a lot. So that's actually the advice that I would give to someone. I would just kind of let them know that there's routines. So obviously try to stop overthinking, and then for me, obviously, to start a little routine, and you'll find that if it all falls in like that little loop thing. But seriously, Melissa, what happened? Go ahead.
I'll just say one last comment. Speaking about routines, that I found as well that it's super important. Like setting my morning routine, especially, that was like my last habit that I was like, I have to make it a thing. And now I don't even have to think about it. Like my morning routine is my morning routine. So
yeah, it becomes a thing.
With everyone, how you get your day started is gonna set the tone for the rest of the day.
Yes,
so
that is so
making sure my nutrition is on point first thing in the morning. Obviously, you have to get up for us moms, like change her diaper, brush teeth, all those things. And then for me, it's like my shake, my tea, my tablets, fill up my water bottle, because if I have it filled, I'm gonna drink water.
Yes, that's correct. I have my water bottle filled and right on the counter, so that I always see it.
And ready, yeah. My gratitude, that's something that's helped me as well. Just writing down a couple things I'm grateful for every morning. So like that, when things do get tough throughout the day, you're like, okay, you're at least thankful for the little things, and you realize that it's gonna be okay. And reading some sort of, I really like personal development books and all that. So reading something like that, or whatever it is that you like to read. Yeah.
I was actually one more thing. I know that you're breastfeeding. How has that been going for you with like your whole workouts, and did it impact anything? I actually stopped breastfeeding at 7 months, because once again, I would tandem feed, so I'd feed them both at the same time. So they became way too hyper, and I was going to be by myself, like 100% by myself. So I was like, for their safety and my safety, I had to stop. But so how has it been for you?
So it's been a crazy journey. I knew I wanted to breastfeed. I knew I wanted to try. When she was born, I'm like, okay, at least 6 months. I was like, at least 6 months. And then from there, I was like, okay, let's go. We passed the 6 months. I was like, let's get to the year. We got to the year. She wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I'm like, let's just keep going. But at first, it wasn't easy. When she was born, she was in the NICU, only for about 3 days. But she was in the NICU, so I didn't have her bed. So I couldn't latch her on right away. But I did, I was like, I need a pump. Within 3 hours, I made sure that I had to get that production going, the milk production. And at first, it was, you hear a lot of different comments. So at first, the colostrum, you have the colostrum. So my mom, for example, like, is she eating enough? Like, you hear that a lot. So it was a lot of
yes.
negativity in the beginning, but I didn't let it get to me. I did have to supplement at first as well because she was in the NICU, like I said. So they suggested it just to make sure she was getting enough nourishment. But so it was like I would walk across the hospital. We would walk across, and I would make sure to be there for as many feedings as possible to latch her on before, and then give her the bottle, with the formula. So it was tough. The first 6 months, we did both. I did like pump, supplement, breastfeed. I remember one of my breasts, like it hurt so much for her to latch on. But so I would pump that side. But I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna get through this. And after like a couple days, and it didn't hurt anymore, which was surprising. So it was just basically like that. And then after 6 months, I stopped giving her formula. I was like, that's it. We're just gonna breastfeed. Like, plus she was already having solids, so that helped. And so that's basically what we've been doing since then. I've been trying to since we started solids, we've been weaning her off, but she just loves them. Like, and then I get the question a lot, like, oh, so how long are you gonna breastfeed her for? Or you're still breastfeeding?
That's up to you, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm like,
up to her, actually.
Exactly. And somebody recently asked me, they're like, oh, how long do you think it's like appropriate to breastfeed for? She's like, I'm just asking because she was asking, like, I guess her sister had a different view. So I told her, I was like, well, it's really up to each mom. Like, appropriate wouldn't be the right word. I know now, nutritionists recommend like up to 2 years of breastfeeding is really healthy for them. Before it was known up to the year, but now like her, I still consider her a baby. She's 16 months, but she's still a baby. She's like a toddler baby. So so it's basically been my journey. It's been really up and down, but I'm very thankful that I've been able to do so, and I love the bond.
I also set myself with like those goals too. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it with 3 months, because with twins, I was like, all right, we'll see how it goes. 3 months, and then I made it 3 months. I'm like, you know what? Let me just keep going. So at 6 months, I'm like, I made it to half a year, and then I didn't want to stop, but obviously, like I had said, for their safety and for mine and my sanity too, I did.
Yeah.
And I would do. Cora was in the NICU as well for about 3 days too. So I had Sahara in one room breastfeeding, and then Cora not breastfeeding. So she had a little bit of the whole latching kind of thing that we had to work on too. But yeah, it's a journey. It's definitely a journey. I know a lot of people and a lot of mothers actually question. They have the question for when you're breastfeeding and working out, does it affect you?
So for me, it didn't. I was scared because I did hear that a lot, and I was kind of trying to just like do my research. But basically, I was reading that it shouldn't affect you, but I mean, for some moms, maybe it does, So for me, it didn't at all. I didn't feel like it did at all, and I actually eating healthy. I felt and drinking enough water. That's something that I did a lot. I would drink a whole like cup of water before breastfeeding. Like during breastfeeding, I'm trying like to chug some water, and it's mainly water. So it helps with the production. Go get it. So I don't know. So to answer your question, I don't think that it affects you.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Obviously, I mean, I really didn't start full on working out up until maybe like 2 months ago or something. But I would always go for a walk or run here and there, and I would hydrate. I feel like hydration is the key, and then that actually just helps with your milk production. But it is something that people do question, and I mean, you said that you read about it too, and I mean, I obviously read about it as well. So yeah, it's crazy how a lot of these things that you find on the internet start to kind of like make you doubt what you're doing, and it makes you want to stop what you're doing for the most part, because you're like, oh no, like this says it doesn't work, you should do that. I would recommend speaking to obviously a health professional. I like to push myself and then take it back, kind of thing, like to see what I can do and then what I can't, and back it up. But yeah, is anything else we want to add before we close today?
To close up breastfeeding, see a lactation consultant. I did that in the hospital. And if you can after, even better as well. It's a journey.
Motherhood is a whole journey.
Yeah.
Postpartum is a journey. We're filled with journeys.
Yeah, for me, that's it. Our whole life is a journey from here.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's always a
I
different
actually
story.
have one more question
Yeah.
though. So it's not a question. Do you have anything to say about working out
Um,
for anyone that'll hear this?
well, to start off, I would say not to like overdo it because you might think that your body is back to normal, but it's not. It's healing. So take it little by little. Even like starting off with walks is great.
Yes. Mhm.
Stretching, stretching is so important. Stretching, I've incorporated foam rolling because I was like neglecting it. I felt like that helped me as well. Because especially with carrying the baby all the time and just doing different things, your body needs some
Yeah,
recovery.
and you might even do like that wrong movement that you didn't think would be wrong, but you just end up hurting yourself a little bit, and then you feel it the next time around. Okay, so we got great key points here. Obviously we don't overthink, don't overwork. See a lactation consultant. Set those small goals that you'll be able to achieve, and then obviously, in my sense, the routine is something that you'll be able to find something to fall back on. But seriously, again, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for listening to my babies crying, mainly Cora.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
Hopefully we can do this again.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
All right, you have a good one, okay?